We have a friend of mine, Geosley. Geosley is Director, Product Evangelist and Community Builder at ACCELQ. Geosley is on mission to unite testing community and keeps himself busy leading the QA community, a global community for test automation enthusiasts. Geosley, all yours.
So I'm honored to get an opportunity to speak here. So before I start my talk, I'd like to tell a story of a tester. So this particular tester was very much into his 9-to-6 job. This tester was scared of talking on stage. This tester was not like you who attended conferences. This tester was someone who thought he had reached his curve of learning and there was nothing else to learn. My dear friends, this is a story of me 4 years back, 2019, when I started as a tester. I'm Geosley Andrades. I evangelize AI no-code with my organization ACCELQ, and I run a community of test automation enthusiasts, which is Q community. I have overall 15 years of experience, an AWS certified solutions architect, and a certified agile leader. So let's get going. Let's get going into my talk, which is time travel as a tester, a journey through my mistakes, realizations, and wishes. So all of us want to be rockstar testers. All of us want to give value to our organizations. And by this quest that we'll take today in this talk, we are going to go through my journey as a tester. And hopefully, by the end of this talk, you will have a lot of value which you can take back to your organizations. So what are we going to cover today in this talk? We are going to cover 6 mistakes that I've done in my past, 6 realizations, and 6 future aspirations as a tester. So let's get into my past. Now, like everyone, my past was also with a lot of ups and downs. It was very shaky. And definitely, I want to share that learnings with you so that the mistakes that I committed are the mistakes which you may not commit. So first mistake, frogs are really popular in this conference. So frog in the well, that's the first mistake I did. When I started my journey as a tester, the one thing that I did wrong was not to attend conferences like you're doing today. The first conferences I attended, in fact, was 10 years after I went into my journey of testing. So I started quite late. So some of you, whoever have joined the conference completing before this, you are in a very good stage. So coming back to the frog in the well, I was an introvert, not trying to communicate. Now I'd like to ask a question to all of you here. How many of you have interacted with 10 different testers outside of your organization today? Lift up your hand. Very few. Hardly I can see 10 hands. Now, I was just like you, but you have lost a very good opportunity. Today was your opportunity to network. Today was your opportunity to talk. So keep this in mind. Don't be the frog in the well, and have a goal in mind. You should have the answer to what you're expecting to do 3 years from now, 5 years from now. If you don't have the answer, you need to think. Next mistake. When I started, automation was everything. I actually wanted to be a coder. I could not get into that. And there was nothing else. It was recession. I was put into testing. Now, to satisfy my urge of coding, I went into automation. But what you need to realize is that there's a lot more of us as testers to do beyond automation. And today we talk about AI. There is a lot more that needs of a tester beyond automation and AI. So here I devised a tester's rubric. Lots and lots of skills for us as testers that are beyond automation. Bug advocacy, finding out, you should be curious, you should have time management skills, you should have note-taking skills, you should know about modeling coverage, you should know about mind mapping, you should know about risk management, you should be a critical thinker, you should be a problem solver. And There are a lot more. You need to know about security, accessibility, learn how to create tools. So these are things we need to know as testers. Automation should not be your end goal. And that was a mistake I made when I started. So if you'd like to know more about this, you can hit the link, bit.ly/testers rubric, and look at it. The next mistake I made was no to testing books and blogs. I'm very bad at reading books. I somehow survived my engineering wave by reading guides. I don't know how many of you resonate to that, but I was very bad with reading books. But one thing you need to realize, right? The more you read, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the more places you will go. So it's important for us to focus on reading. Like me, if you're not a vivid reader, focus on reading audiobooks. There are very good testers in the industry today who make mind maps, who make summary of tools. So use that technology to get learnings from books. So how many of you have read more than 2 testing books? Raise your hands up. Surprising, we have just 2 hands. Books are really important. We are testers. See what the industry is talking about testing. These are some recommendations of really good books you should invest time in reading. If you are not going to learn about a craft, you are in serious trouble. So read such good books, learn about testing, know and be knowledgeable about our craft, and be proud of our craft. The 4th mistake, developer is enemy. We have been seeing this feed, developer tester feeds, memes, for ages now. We need to get out of it, right? You have to develop software in unison, right? So an example, if you take of an aircraft, all the parts of the aircraft should work so that you get a safe flight. And it's important for us as testers to work in synergy, right? For the aircraft to work well, for the team to work well, everyone has to play their A game. It is not just the tester who is responsible for quality in software. So get away from all of this developer-tester conflicts, right? I'll give you a story about myself. When I started, we were in a team of 30 developers and 10 testers, right? And there was this conflict synergy or differences that we had. So whenever it was a Friday, we were given the build. And poor testers like us had to come on the weekends to do testing. So this was really, really bad for me. And as a team, then a group of testers decided that, hey, let's wait for logging all the bugs. And on a Friday evening, 5 o'clock, we used to log all the bugs. And then we started having developers come on the weekend. So, think wisely that you have to work and you have to get out of that, this conflict. 5th mistake, the jumping frog. Now, this is very important and for you all to understand. When I started my testing journey, I was also like this. My friend got 200% hike. He got 3x salary. He got an on-site opportunity, and let's start jumping around. Every 2 years, I shifted my career. For what? For a hike and for a salary. Now, many of you may resonate to this, but one thing you need to understand that you have to stick to a company to get into the depth of what we are doing as a craft. We get into a company, 3 months of onboarding, and 3 months of honeymoon period, right? Or your notice period. You have lost 6 months of your life in this process. Where are you spending in learning? So stick to the company, get into depth, and all of these things, on-sites, money, doubling, all of this will follow. So like we're talking about in this conference, focus on basics, focus on core values, and that's when you can accelerate your career. The last mistake, one-man army. So I thought I was the best tester that ever could happen. Anything that happens in my project, I will take it. Now, this was the biggest mistake. If you want to grow in your career, don't be afraid to exchange and share your knowledge, right? If you want to grow within your organization, there should be someone else doing your work. So it's important that you teach them your craft so that you can do something much better and progress in your career. Otherwise, we keep doing the same thing and we crib about not getting promotions. Now, the problem is we are scared that someone else will take our position. So don't commit this mistake. Don't be a one-man army. Delegate, and learn the art of delegation, because that will make you a true leader. So lots of mistakes that have happened in the past, and now let's come into my present, and there were a lot of realizations which happened by being in the community, attending conferences like you all. So let's get into my present. So the first thing that I understood for us is, as testers, we need to deep dive into the architecture. Now this is very important. For ages, we have been just testing the UI layer, get beneath, test the databases, test the APIs. So it's important for us to get deep into the architecture, sit with your architecture team, sit with your development team, and understand why the defects are coming, understand the root causes of those defects. So deep dive into the architecture. I'll talk about just my experience. I have worked with a number of tools over a decade of time, right? So don't be afraid of tools. Like we have been talking, if you focus on the fundamental concepts, adopting any tool will be easy. As testers, don't be afraid of code. As testers, don't be afraid of tools. It's an evolving market. It's a transforming market. So don't be afraid to get out there, and a developer can also be a tester, and a tester can also be a developer. So don't worry and be confident, right? So I had the opportunity to become an engineering manager and was responsible for the AWS lift and shift in my past organization, where I was leading a team of 15 developers on .NET. So everything is possible. It's not that us as testers cannot adopt, us as testers cannot learn a testing language. Next part, human-driven experiential testing is important. Now, the short form of this is manual testing. I didn't want to get trolled on social media, so that's why I put it like human-driven experiential testing. But one thing we need to understand, that manual testing is important. The power of the human brain cannot be replaced. We have been talking, automation will replace testers, AI will replace testers, ChatGPT will replace testers. This is not going to happen. Why? Because humans can think and tools cannot. So let's look at the difference specifically. What we as testers, what we as humans can do. Humans can evaluate. Humans can decide. Humans have new ideas. Humans can observe. Humans can assess. Humans can think. What tools can do? They run stuff. They are programmed. Or today, you give a prompt and they behave. Realization 3, run different variations of testing. Don't be too focused in just automation. There are many things out there, and this previous talk, which was on accessibility, focus on security. For ages, I have made this mistake that just do functional testing, just do automation. Where are the other aspects? Accessibility, usability, security, performance. Don't ignore this, because this is also a core component of ensuring quality. Realization 4, focus on your personal brand. Now, what is a personal brand? The moment I walk out of this room, what are you going to talk about me is my personal brand. And that applies to you. What people talk about you when you are not in the room is your personal brand. So it's important that you build your brand. Make your brand so big that the next time you apply for a job, you don't need to show your resume. I can proudly say that in the current organization that I'm working, I did not submit my resume. It was just my personal brand which got me the job. So an exercise for all of you to evaluate your personal brand. Type your name in Google and see what comes. And this is what is your brand. If you do not see anything, it's a time to rethink. It's a time to see that you need to share and build your personal brand, because this is going to take you ahead in your career. Realization 5, the power of networks and communities. It's glad to see so many of you here with a wonderful Step-in Forum community. So communities and networking is really very important. As I say, network is your net worth. It's important to have the support of the community. Like an organization has a personal board of directors, you as well should have your personal board of directors who will push you, who will take you further, who will be happy for your success. Do you have that right now? If you don't have, it's time to focus on having people who are happy for your success, who clap for your success. Because of this community, I was fortunate in 2019 when I did my first talk at TestCon. I had the community come and support me for my talk. And dreams go really fast. In 2023, I was able to do 2 international conferences, and it was all because of the community. Realization 6, don't be afraid to say no. Whenever your manager asks something, don't say, yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this. Don't be like the overflowing cup. You take so much, and one stage, you'll have to spill yourself out. So say no at certain things. One thing as testers we need to realize, right? If you're trying to make Maggi, you will take 2 minutes. But if you need a biryani, you need 2 hours. So you have to convince your managers of how much time that you're going to take in your testing. And don't just say, I cannot do testing. Go with a proper logical reason of why you need more time. If you go to your manager saying, hey, I cannot do this, the next question or the next logical question your manager is going to ask is why. So have an answer for that when you go. Don't go with lame excuses. No, I cannot finish testing on time. Why? What can you get when you test certain things in certain times? What are the risks that we are saying that we are okay with? So don't be afraid to say no. Let's get into my future and what I aspire. The first thing is I want to continuously learn new skills, and I'm very happy that all of you have dedicated your day-to-day for this conference to step up on your learning, and this is what I aspire. Today, one thing that you need to know that no one can take your learning away. There are a lot of resources here out there, YouTube, Test Automation University, Udemy, W3 Schools, Lead Code, 100 days of code, 100 days of no code. Come what may, whatever you want to learn, you're going to get it here. Next wish, share more with the community. One thing you need to understand is sharing is caring. The more you learn, the more you share, the more leaders you will create. So share with the community. Hashtag StepInSummit 2023. Go out there, tell the world what you have learned today, and share whatever you have learned. So there have been a lot of visionaries that I've been following in their work. Pradeep Soundarajan, Michael Bolton, Ajay, James Bach, and many more sitting here. Ashok sir, Srini sir, Vipul sir, and lot many. So learn from them, follow their work, and see what you can get into the table. Now, one thing you need to understand, have your own opinion. Do not follow anyone blindly. Wish number 3 is plan on your second source of income. We have been seeing a lot of layoffs. It's important for us to make sure that we have a second source of income. You can write blogs, you can do podcasting, you can do a lot of other activities like writing books, e-books, and this is how you can earn your second source of income, because you never know when you will be in a situation. So have a basic source as your second source of income. Wish 4, mentor more testers. It's important for us, and if you are in this industry for a long, long time, it's important for you to mentor others. We as leaders need to focus to create new leaders. The torch of testing has to pass to the next generation, and unless and until we don't talk about it, this is not going to happen. Wish number 5, work-life balance. As you can see, I put on a lot of weight, but I definitely wish to focus more on the health. Don't spend so much time on making a living that you forget to live a life, right? So these are some of the 5 things that, as I've set for my life goals, which is fitness, spend more time with my family, have fun, and get on a lot of flights and go to a lot of places. So enjoy what you do. Don't be too focused and centric that you forget to make a life. My last wish is to reinvent and innovate. There are certain things which may work for you. So whatever is eating your time, whatever is killing your time, whatever are time wasters, remove them out from your life. I used to spend hours and hours binge watching in the last 2 years. I have removed that out from my life, and it's important for us to reinvent ourselves and do things which we should think are time wasters for us. So a quick summary, past mistakes, frog in the well, don't just focus on automation, read a lot of books, developer are not your enemies, don't be the jumping frog, don't be the one army, focus on architecture, experiential testing is important, learn a lot of testing concepts, focus on personal brand, Build your network. Don't be afraid to say no. Continuously learn. Share with the community. Plan for your second source of income. Mentor testers. Have a work-life balance and reinvent. In the end, we are all stories. So make it a good one. All your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. Final thoughts, as we talk today, 43% of the testers are jobless. 69% of the testers still need to upskill on AI and ML. And 72% of the testers in this hall would believe that this slide is true. My dear friends, you are testers. Question yourself and do not believe what people are talking. This is my talk. I'm Geosley Andrades. You can connect to me on LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube. And thank you for the opportunity. Team, step in.
Thank you, Geosley. Geosley is available through, on multiple social media channels. And if you have any questions for him, he is always available, okay? Except when he's sleeping. I would request Anil Nahataji to be on stage and felicitate Geosley. Geosley has also done a remarkable thing, apart from this talk. If you look at the conference, what we were talking about, embrace change, drive success, navigating a transforming landscape. And who gave this idea to us? Here's the guy. So there's a special prize which actually has already been in his account. Second income he was talking about. But I would like, Anilji to, Anilji or Vinay? Okay. Vinay, please do the honors.